When did you realize something was wrong?
Well, I really didn't think there was anything wrong with me. I woke up one Saturday morning. I was going to go to family weekend at my daughter's school. I had this numbness on the side of my face here. You know, like when you wake up in the morning and your face is all crinkled from the pillow and your face is like half asleep. It was like that. Within a couple of hours, it was that same feeling along the whole side of my face. And it basically felt like I had gone to the dentist and had Novocaine, which was a very familiar feeling to me because the week before I had a filling done. So being we were going to be gone for the weekend, I said to my husband, you know what, I don't want to be gone away for the whole weekend and be feeling like this. So when I called my doctor, he said he wanted me to go to the emergency room because he wanted to rule out that I might be having like a mini stroke or Bell's palsy. But I felt the same, my speech wasn't slurred, my face wasn't droopy. And when I went to the emergency room, they thought it might be some sort of migraine. And they really couldn't figure it out. So 3 CAT scans later, the doctor said to me, I think you have a brain aneurysm. I want to transport you to another hospital. I was in disbelief. I was like, you're kidding me. I don't think it hit me. I was like, you sure you're looking at the right films? And he said yes. So then they transported me to St. Luke's in Bethlehem, and they had me in the critical care unit. But in the meantime, I felt perfectly fine. Then they did an MRI there, and the following morning, the doctor came into ICU and said to me, you have a brain tumor. It's called a meningioma. I don't remember. Who called you? Was it me or was it Dad?
I called you. No one called me to tell me like that you guys were on your way, so I called Dad and I'm like, did you guys even leave yet? And Dad was like, no. I was like, okay, well, where are you guys? And Dad was like, we're in the emergency room with Mom. And I was like, why? What happened? And he was like, the side of her face went numb this morning. And I was like, oh. And I got like really, really upset. Like, the first thing that I could think of is a stroke. So I was just like, ugh. And then Dad was like, I'll call you when we know more. And then a few hours later, Dad called me and told me what it was. And then I cried. I went over to Janelle's room and I just cried because I didn't know what to do because I was so sad. What? It's scary because you don't know. Like when you hear that, like there's so many different scenarios, but like you always think like the worst one, you know?
Why did you think that's going to die?
I don't really know. Like I guess I thought it was like an option. Not an option because like you want to do, but it was always like there. Yeah.
It was what they call an incidental find. It was leaning on my optic nerve and had completely choked off my carotid artery. What if I decide not to do anything? He says that maybe you'll have a month, a year, 5 years, 10 years, but you will eventually have a stroke. Or we can treat it, and he didn't feel there was anything I was going to die from. And they were unable to remove the whole tumor. There's still 2 pieces of it left. But now I suffer from seizures, bright lights bother me. Sometimes I pass out because if there's too much noise, too much commotion, everything just like blends.
There it goes all the way around.
I had an excellent surgeon.
Yeah, fantastic. Good job.
Like I said, I've never heard of this disease. I didn't know anyone who had it before I had it. So I think there needs to be more funding so that there's more research, so that there's more awareness. There's support groups for so many things, and when you go online, there's not really that many support groups for brain tumor survivors. Because if you were to look at me, I don't look sick. I physically look fine. And I think more awareness needs to be put out for the mentally ill suffering from tumors, because people don't realize that just by looking at your physical appearance.